You're listening to RiverStars Performing Arts on EmpowerHour.
Let me tell you now.
Listen up! Some people really feel a need to tell me that I'm ugly or fat. They aren't able to see that words hurt. They don't understand that one simple sentence can ruin a person's life. Like if you have an argument with your best friend and tell them that you don't care if they end up in a ditch somewhere on the side of the highway, that could really hurt. What if they were in a bad place before you said that? And those words just caused them to lose it. But this doesn't just affect friendships. You can ruin your marriage too. You could say something just because you're mad, and then here comes the divorce train. Choka, 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 choka. Choo-choo. Seriously, people? It's easy to be that impulsive to where you can just blow up on someone and just make them feel like crap. I mean, I'm not one of those people who is perfect with their words every time. I can be an a-hole too, but I'm trying to at least get it together. I don't know about you, but I get sick and tired of blowing up on someone and sick of people saying nasty things to me. So maybe we all just need to take a freaking chill pill. And even though I'm yelling at you listeners, I'm still trying to get through to you that words hurt and that they impact people's lives. So just make sure you think about what you're going to say when you get mad, and don't tell someone to just bleep off. Everyone has problems, and sometimes you just want to scream at the person who is closest to you. But just because you're angry doesn't mean you should unload on others. Words matter, people. Really, they do. I'm Annie on EmpowerHour KXCJLP 105.7 FM. Today's topic is the power of words. And up next, we have Lady Line.
Toxic friendships, toxic words, toxic hearts. How can you tell what's real and what's not?
You're tuned to KXCJLP 105.7 FM Cave Junction, listening to Ladyline, where you ask and we answer. I'm Isadora Malay.
I'm Phoebe Hertler.
And we are Ladyline, where today we're going to talk about how words can break your heart and the hidden messages behind them. A lot of the world today relies on the power of words. Presidents are elected because of the words they speak. Governors and senators, could they get where they are without words?
While words are used for good, they are also used for bad, and it can get bad with the way words are used. And on the rare occasion when they aren't used in derogatory ways, it's simply moronic and stupid when people yell them out as though they mean nothing. Do people not realize that words have power? It doesn't stop there. Words are also used to hurt people passive-aggressively.
So how can a person read between the lines and tell when someone is purposefully using and hurting them? Find out now on Ladyline, where today we are going to talk about words that hurt and break hearts and the words that heal and mend. Because of this topic today, Ladyline decided to interview Nicole Renzenbrink. Nicole is an LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. She is the founding member of Healthy You, where she works as the executive director, therapist, and youth group leader. Nicole is also a Rotarian and member of the IV Democrats. Thank you for coming today, Nicole.
Thank you.
Now, before we talk with Nicole, we'd like to notify everybody out there that Ladyline will be doing call-ins throughout this interview. So, make sure to call in at 541-592-4112 if you have anything you'd like to say. Do you have any crazy stories about this topic that you'd like to get out? Then call in at 541-592-4112. Again, that's 541-592-4112. Now let's get on with the interview.
So, Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about the group work you do with your teenagers?
I run a program called Passages for preteen and teen and girls. It's psychoeducation, basically talking about things that have psychological content and affect your mind and heart. And also, let's see, I do Quest for boys, which is, Quest is middle school and Passages is middle through high school. Passages has been in operation for about 20 years and Quest off and on for about 10.
Mm-hmm. And what is the difference between Quest and Passages?
Well, besides the gender, Quest is boys and Passages girls. Let's see. In Quest, it's more short-term group. There's only 10-week sessions, but boys can do it repeatedly through middle school, and Passages goes all the way through high school.
Okay. And what do you do with the girls and boys?
We have a basic format in which people come in, they agree to certain guidelines like confidentiality, respect, listening, reliability, and then we have highs and lows, which are basically what's going good and what's not going so good in somebody's life, and then we may have an activity or a game or a discussion.
Okay.
And how do you think this helps the kids?
I think that if nothing else, people get the guidelines, which are awesome, which have to do with things like respect and tolerance and keeping the peace, not escalating conflicts. In order to remain in good standing in Passages, people have to keep those going. That's a little less so in Quest just because of the design of the group. And Quest is, the only reason Quest isn't as big as Passages is because we just haven't had men available to keep it going.
Okay. How big a part do words play in the traumatic experiences that your group members have to work through?
What I see is that there's, in terms of words, it's a lot to do with the delivery. And so words that really hurt people are words that come from somebody who doesn't have a good friendship with the person they're dishing out the words to, who may be contemptuous of the person, whether they have a good friendship with them or not, or where there's a power imbalance, like the words reflect some kind of oppression that's prevalent in society, like a racial slur.
Mm-hmm. Could you give us a couple examples?
Well, whenever any person of color is called the N-word or made fun of for their Mexican-American status, that's an example of that kind of oppressive stuff that's never okay. When there's a lack of relationship, a lot of times there's kids with high status in school who will tend to pick on kids with lower status. And so, that's the most often. So it's like those two people aren't good friends, and so anything said in a negative way is going to be hurtful to the other person. And then contempt is a prevalent problem that happens even in good friendships and happens even in marriages or whatever. Contempt, you can tell when somebody's being contemptuous. Maybe they roll their eyes, maybe they kind of sneer, and then they might say something like, "Oh my God, you're so stupid." It's that kind of tone with it, and then often the words that are really hurtful that go with.
Okay.
And do you think that people are aware of what this impact could lead to?
I think that people aren't very aware of how hurtful they can be towards others. I think that we are in a time and a culture where there's a lot of stuff that could be seen as teasing. When I was a kid growing up on TV, what I would watch was like Walt Disney and Lassie, and there'd be like a problem, and then it would be solved, and that would be the show. And since then, TV is like contemptuous words thrown back and forth. Adults get made fun of, kids get made fun of, everybody's being made fun of, ha ha ha. And I think that has a huge effect in our schools and everywhere, pretty much, where there's just an atmosphere where contempt is cool, and it's really not. It really does hurt people.
Exactly.
Have you ever encountered someone who purposefully used words to hurt? What did you do?
Well, it depends. One thing I learned that I like as a response is ouch. You know, so if somebody throws something hurtful towards me, I might say, ouch. And I've used that even on Facebook and social media. Instead of getting into defensiveness, which doesn't really help, fighting back with words doesn't tend to really get you anywhere. So there's the ouch kind of response. There's things like trying to practice good comebacks that aren't ones that are going to escalate conflict, but that kind of take the sting out. So somebody makes fun of me, I say, you know what? It's perfectly fine if you make fun with me. You could make fun of me all day long and walk away.
So how do you receive this type of name calling and such?
Well, I'm human, so I've certainly dealt with it, and I'm a figure that's out and about. I know a lot of people. So the more people you know, the more conflict you're going to run into, I think. And a lot of the kids I've worked with certainly have dealt with it.
Okay. Well, we'd like to take a short break to remind everybody out there that we are doing call-ins throughout this interview. So, grab your pens and paper and get ready to call in at 541-592-4112. Call in with any thoughts, opinions, or experiences about this subject at 541-592-4112. Again, that's 541-592-4112. Thanks for listening to Ladyline. Now, back to the interview. Nicole, how hard is it for you to find the right words to help someone heal? Does it come naturally, or do you struggle?
I don't think it's as much about the right words to help somebody heal as it is being kind of tuned into where they're at energetically. So it's like, I really want to attend to them. I want to show that I'm listening. I want to find what's lovable about them and connect to that. And I think when they feel that and know that, then that goes really, really far. Sometimes some inspirational words are really helpful, or just some skills to learn to deal with something difficult. Sometimes that as well.
Well, what's the worst things that you've heard kids say around school?
Well, I think that racial slurs to me are they're just horrific. And I think that that's really more so and different. You got to look at the relationship too. If it's two dark-skinned kids making fun of each other, that doesn't have the sting that it would if me as a white girl or some other white kid made fun of somebody with dark skin. I think for girls and women, being made fun of around their bodies is really, really difficult, and that's a big problem in schools. I think that the schools or just society favors the quote-unquote beautiful, and the rest of us, I'm not beautiful, I'm average, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I've got a heck of a lot of other great qualities about me. And I think most of us do. We all have great lights to shine. We just have to know what that is, excuse me, and go for that. So I think that really hurts people a lot, those kind of things.
Okay.
Well, to any new listeners, we are talking with Nicole Renzenbrink about words and how they hurt.
Nicole, I have a question. What is the healing process that you go through to help people heal from words?
I think listening, again, just making sure there's a connection, because you can feel so alone and so trashed when that kind of thing happens. So if you have a friend or you've been hurt with hurtful words, find somebody who loves you to talk to about it. And, you can ask for things like, I need a hug, or just tell me I'm okay, because that can help a lot. If you have a friend who's having a hard time about some hurtful words, find their strengths. You know what their strengths are, and point them out to them. Don't tell them false things like, if somebody says you're so whatever and there's a little bit of truth to that, find another strength that you know is true about them and tell them that.
Okay.
And is there anything you would like to say to people about mindfulness around words?
Well, the idea of mindfulness is just being present in the here and now. And words can attach themselves to stories in our mind and make us think all these awful things. Like if somebody calls me ugly, then I could remember I was called ugly when I was 23, or that was a bad time in my life, and blah, blah, blah. And off you go into this negative spiral pit. Being mindful keeps you more just in the here and now. So that word can just drift right on by like a little cloud, and then it can go away quicker.
Yeah. Well, thank you for letting us interview you here today on Ladyline.
Thank you. I really appreciate the chance to come and share.
It's been a pleasure and a journey. We hope that you enjoyed your time here and all our listeners enjoyed this topic.
We wish you learned something from this topic because we sure have. Make sure to tune in next Saturday to hear our new topic of the week. Unfortunately, we have to go now, so let's pass this over to the next segment of Empower Hour, Project Redworm. Thanks for listening to Ladyline.
I'm Elijah, and I want to be a professional sound designer.
I'm Isadora, and I want to be an actress, a businesswoman, and part of the 1%.
And I'm Phoebe, and I want to be everything and anything.
Good morning! You're on KXCJLP Radio 105.7 FM, listening to the Illinois Valley's one and only teen-powered radio show, Empower Hour, where roaring from the soul is our goal. This is the segment where you will follow us on our journey to making some real change for our valley and the planet.
In the early stages of forming our radio show, we all decided on one big change-making project that we were all very passionate about doing. For this, we finally agreed on Project Redworm, which stands for
Rural Environmental Determination for Waste Organization and Recycling Management. Rural stands for our rural community. What makes us rural? Well, for one, how we live with nature and wildlife. We don't live in suburbs. In fact, we live in communities, or a community. We also live in a close-knit valley practically in the middle of nowhere. But you know what? We make the most of it, and we stand proud for being rural.
And then there's E for environmental. What makes Project Redworm environmental? Well, the answer to that is easy peasy. Our project is environmental because the main basis of it is to make composting a bigger part of the schools in our valley. We collect the school's lunches and give it to farmers for them to use in composting, which in turn halves the food waste in Lorna Burn. How can that not be environmental?
D for determination. Why? Because we are very determined to make our valley a better place. What's our work ethic? Well, we kind of have a late rule, which determines us to be on time and work hard with the little time we have. What's our rule, you may ask? Our rule is 1 to 10 minutes late, you don't get a seat. 10 to 20 minutes late, you are cut for that episode. 30 plus minutes late, you get a strike and you're cut from that show. What's a strike? Well, 3 strikes and you're out. This may be harsh, but it helps us. Once we are all here and ready to work together, we put forth our best effort, heart, mind, and soul in equal measure. RiverStars are one determined bunch of kids.
W stands for waste. In this case, waste is all the uneaten food that is thrown away every single meal at Lorna Burn. If you actually take a look at the trash cans, you'll see them filled to the brim with uneaten burgers, apples, french fries, fried food. It's honestly really sad to see all this food going to waste every single day. So, Project Redworm strives to eliminate this and make it so that waste is going towards a good cause, like for instance, composting.
O is for organization. Organization means we are organizing school personnel, students, and farmers to work together for the first time in our valley's history to do better at managing our waste. R stands for Recycling. Project Redworm was designed to be a recycling and composting project. That's who we are, and that's what we stand for.
And then, last but not least, there's M, which stands for Management. That means that we manage this project, and we manage ourselves, with a lot of help from the adults.
Project Redworm is a project that will require the participation and enthusiasm of as many people as possible, as it will likely be a long and difficult process, but in the end it will have some amazing results.
You mean poopy results.
After all, it's poop we're making.
You mean change we're making.
Poop.
Change.
We're making change by making poop.
What could be more fun than that?
But guys, we haven't told them what Project Redworm really is.
Hey, you're right!
Well, is someone gonna tell them?
Don't look at me, I never like explaining things.
I will do it, please!
No, that's not fair. She always gets to explain stuff.
So somebody do it before they get bored and turn us off.
I guess I'll do it. Project Redworm.
Project Redworm is a composting project. We're going to start sowing the seed of sustainability by starting a composting program at Lorna Burn Middle School. What will this do? Well, you are about to find out in today's episode of Project Redworm.
First off, how did we get our inspiration to do this project? Well, it all started with Red Gold. What is Red Gold, you might ask? Well, it's our latest play that we performed at the beginning of spring. The reason Red Gold corresponds to us starting up Project Redworm is because the show is all about making compost from worm poop. It all starts one day when the main character Levante leaves her home in 2056 to go buy strawberries and pepper for her sister's birthday. In her time, the post-apocalyptic world has been reduced to rubble. But when she got to the store, she found that she didn't have enough money to get both the strawberries and pepper. So she's conflicted and mad, angry, and sad, but she has to make a decision. So, long story short, she chooses the pepper, goes home, cries, and sulks to Grammy. But Levante has an awesome grandma with a big IQ. And her grandma tells Levante that she can grow strawberries for her little sister's birthday. All she needed to get started was dirt. In order to get dirt, she had to travel through the rubble again and ask a whole lot of stores if they had any dirt. Turns out, though, that nobody had any dirt at all. And it turns into this whole dance where Levante gets scarred for life because of the creepy shop owner.
We've come a long way, baby, since playing in the dirt. Not a speck need touch us now. We're clean from toenail to shirt. No dirt here, none to see, no cell. No dirt here, just a pretty plastic. Little girl, all your foggy fairy tales of a time when people kneeled down on the ground trying to scrounge up something called a meal. Well, thanks to me, you all are free of all that toil and bother. We pick our needs now off a shelf, although we pay in cancer. No dirt here, none to see, no smell. No dirt here, just a pretty plastic. Hello, little girl. Let's pledge allegiance to corporations. We've given God a rest. Let Mother Nature be not be bothered. She's
After that rejection, Levante sulks some more because she can't find any dirt. But voila! While Levante sulks again, she ends up meeting two friends, Charlie and Lila. And just like that, they magically become bestest friends foreverest. After they meet, they discover the red wiggler worms, but they don't know it yet. Underneath a rock, after an intense discussion over whether or not they should go venture in, and if it was dangerous, they finally decide to go in. Holy crap!
Oh my goodness! What are they doing? Are they calling us?
No, Lila, they're saying goodbye. What do you not understand about this gesture?
It's so weird. They look like a ball of squid. Red squid.
Or snot. It looks like a ball of snot.
Like really long, stringy boogers.
I think I'm gonna puke. We should not follow them. Let's get out of here.
No way. Lila, get back here right this minute.
My mom said never to follow strangers.
Oh, they're actually really, really cute.
You call that cute?
What would you call it?
Utterly frightening. I think they have teeth.
They don't have teeth.
Fangs even.
Where? Where do you see fangs?
There! Right there!
That's not even their mouth. That's their butt.
Wait. Which side is their head and which side is their butt?
Good question. Is that their butt?
No, I think that's the head.
But
Head.
maybe they have two butts.
Or two heads, which means two sets of fangs. And they're probably venomous.
Really, Lila? What would you give me if I ate one?
Don't do it. It'll make you puke. I know it will. And it's so dark down there. Come on, guys, please. Let's go home.
Don't be a wimp. It can't be worse than up here. Acid rain, concrete clouds, and raw sewage. That looks cozy and safe compared to this.
It smells really good down there, too.
Guys, I think it might be some kind of octopuses. Do you know how dangerous octopuses are? They can kill you.
Lila, enough!
For God's sake, Lila, we're going!
Upon arriving, they meet the queen, Icinia Fetida, who is a freaking goddess. Then Icinia gives them an education they will never forget about the benefits of worm poop and worms themselves. After Icinia's dance, she gives the three girls worms so that they can start making their own dirt.
I transform poop and I turn it into that golden loot that grows true treasure for your body and mind, so your heart's desire will come in time. I'm where it's at. I take all this shit and I make a map into which plants roots can grow from the tiniest seeds you could possibly sow. Yeah, I'll take your poop, girl, and I'll turn it into gold. Eggshells, coffee grounds, apple cores. You got an hour, 'cause there's so much more
Now that we've all been over to the worm side, and we've been educated.
No, wormicated.
No, poopicated.
Anyways, now we're ready to start composting. But first, how much do we really know about worms?
Are you sure they aren't octopuses?
And what side is the butt and which side is the head?
And which side is the male and which side is the female?
Wait, you mean there's such thing as same worm sex?
Well, I guess you'll just have to tune in next week to find out.
You're listening to 105.7 FM, and this is EmpowerHour. Welcome to the Arts Alive segment.
Today, our focus is on words, how they hurt, and how they help.
Sometimes when people use words irresponsibly, like slurs and abusive language, it can hurt people a lot. But words can also be beneficial and helpful.
In things like art and spoken word, words can be crafted masterfully to evoke emotion and create positive change in the world.
As an example, positive lyrics in music can be uplifting and inspiring and provoke people to make a difference in the world.
To start off, we will be playing a piece of art through music by American activist and musician Danielle Lopresti, titled Say It.
Kenneth called me. I was on the street. Me and my 6 years old pink birthday bike. We were riding. I didn't like those kids next door. I didn't like the big brother more, with his creepy, pimply, I'm bigger than you face, sneering over their patio gate. He yelled, "Come here, I need your help." And my legs slowly minded. They walked me towards him, and they followed my arm when he pulled it. And then there he was, a giant, smiling above me. His other hand closed the screen. He pulled down my panties, then his. And then he asked me, "Do you know what this is?"
Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does? Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does? Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does? Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does? Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does? Do you know what this is? Do you know what it does?
My legs, my tummy, he's going to kill me. I am naked and I am fat.
our segment, we're going to play a song by Ani DeFranco.
This song refers to another powerful use of words in our society, those of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
Ani's music is quite politically and socially charged, and is a great example of someone who uses words for positive change and global activism.
From her album, Which Side Are You On? This song is called Amendment.
Keep it here for My Obnoxious Fandom, up next on EmpowerHour.
You're on KXCJLP 105.7 FM Cave Junction.
All hail arts.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had an amendment to give civil rights to women? To once and for all just really lay it down from the point of view of women. I know what you're thinking, that's just redundant. Chicks got it good now, they can almost be president. But it's worker against worker, time and time again. 'Cause the rich use certain issues as a tool. When I say we need the ERA, it ain't 'cause I'm a fool. It's 'cause without it, nobody can get away with anything cool. And you don't have to go far, like just over to Canada, to feel a heightened sense of live and let live. What is it about Americans? Like so many pit bulls, trained to attack, yeah, to never give. We gotta put down abortion, put it down in the books for good, as central to the civil rights of women. Make diversity legal, make it finally understood through the civil rights of women. And if you don't like abortion, don't have an abortion, and teach your children how they can avoid them. But don't treat all women like they are your children. Compassion has many faces, many names. And if men can kill and be decorated instead of blame, then a woman called upon the mother can choose to refrain. And contrary to eons of old-time religion, your body's your only true dominion. Nature is not here to serve you or at any cost to preserve you. That's just some preacher man's old-time opinion. Life is sacred, life is also profane. A woman's life, it must be hers to name. Let an amendment put this brutal game to rest. Trust women will still take you to their breast. Trust women will always do their best. Trust our differences make us stronger, not less. And in this amendment family is so big, and we're all so very small. Let a web of relationship be laid over it all, over the strata of power piled up to the sky, over the illusion of autonomy on which it relies, over any absolute that nature does not supply. And the birthing woman shall regain her place in a circle of women in a sacred space. Turn off the machines, put away the knives. This amendment shall deliver from bondage the wise.
A word has the power to change your life. Think about that for a moment, because it is literally an earth-moving statement to change your life. For more than a decade, technology has brought words into our lives more than ever before. No longer are words just what we hear, write, or read. They have become what we create and how we interact with the world around us.
You're still listening, hopefully, to EmpowerHour, where roaring from the soul is our goal. On KXCJLP 105.7 FM Cave Junction. And you are listening to My Obnoxious Fandom, where the awkward things that happen to us might just happen to you.
We all grew up believing the children's rhyme. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Yet, at a certain point, you realize that was completely untrue, and that words could hurt, just as you learned Pluto was a planet, but many years later find out it was just a ball of ice, no longer classified as a planet. Words, my friends, change everything. Words have a dramatic effect on what we know, how we interact with people, and the decisions we ultimately make. Words can influence us, inspire us, or just as easily bring us to tears.
Words can change our relationships, our demeanor, our entire system of beliefs, and even our businesses. Being a planet or not being a planet is a major difference, just as the words, I love you, or I hate you, have majorly different meanings behind them. Words have a powerfully, undeniably overwhelming influence on us, for good and, at times, for bad. Think about that for a moment, how words have changed your life.
How have words impacted people through social media?
I think that there are way too many people in the media today that are overusing the terms, I hate you, and I love you. Now, I think that it's fine to say I love you to the people that you really do love, but you should be careful to not just throw those words around like they don't mean much. And the phrase, I hate you, is one that you should never use unless you are writing it in your diary, because that is very okay. But if you use it often, it may seem harmless to you, but you might actually be breaking someone's heart every time you say it to them, even if that really is how you feel about them.
Now, have words impacted our celebrities?
Demi Lovato was bullied. She had a hate wall in the bathroom, and the girls signed a petition saying, "We all hate Demi Lovato." Ah. All the girls would text her and be like, "We're gonna make your life a living hell." One day, a group of bullies threatened to beat her up and chased her into the bathroom.
A number of female stars have spoken out about their own experiences with physical and emotional abuse by ex-boyfriends. Think Debbie Ryan, Sarah Hyland, Rihanna, and Kim Kardashian. If that's not terrible enough, Many celebrities have faced abuse from their actual family members. Here's a star who's opened up about the abuse she endured by her own parents' hands.
Demi had a complicated relationship with her biological father, who passed away in 2013. In a video diary, Demi said she had mixed emotions when he died. I felt conflicted when he passed because he was abusive. He was mean, she said, but he wanted to be a good person. He wanted to have his family.
So, as we know, words hurt. Like, they can hurt like, ah! But they also help. How have words changed your life? Call in at 541-592-4112 to tell us. Again, tell us how words have changed your life at 541-592-4112.
While you all do that, we have this song for you that will help you understand the impact of words.
It's called Little Toy Guns, and it's by Carrie Underwood.
In between the coats in the closet, she held on to that heart-shaped locket, staring at a family flawless, but it ain't a pretty picture tonight. Mom and Daddy just won't stop it, fighting at the drop of a faucet, cuts through the walls catastrophic. She's caught in the crossfire, puts her hands over her ears, starts talking through the tears. She's saying, she's praying, I wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Wish words were like little toy guns. Yeah, no smoke, no bullets, no kick from the trigger when you pull it, no pain, no damage done. Wish words were like little toy guns. And just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Wish words were like little toy guns. Wish there was a white flag waving, or that they were both just faking, and it was just a game they were playing, like shoot 'em up cowboys. Leave the plastic pistols in the front yard, throw away the scorecard, and just turn off all the noise. I wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Wish words were like little yeah, no smoke, no bullets, no kick from the trigger when you pull it, no pain, no damage done. Wish words were like little toy guns. And just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Wish words were like little toy I wish they didn't cut like a knife. I wish they didn't break you inside. I wish they didn't bang, bang, make you wanna run. Yeah, like a little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Yeah, no smoke, no bullets, no shot from the trigger when you pull it, no pain, no damage done. Wish words were like little toy guns. And just a bang, bang, rolling off your tongue. Wish words were like little toy guns. Oh, like little toy guns.
Wow, that's just terrible. So sticks and stones may break my bones, but words hurt just as much? Wow, I guess words are one of the strongest weapons. Do words really hurt, though?
Well, maybe this one does. Dweeb. Ha ha ha.
Ooh, yeah, nerd.
Oof! Jerk.
This song, called What Hurts the Most will help us explain what we're talking about.
I can take the rain on the roof of this empty house. That don't bother me. I can take a few tears now and then and just let them out. I'm not afraid to cry every once in a while, even though going on with you gone still upsets me. There are days every now and again I pretend I'm okay, but that's not what gets me. What hurts the most was being so close and having so much to say, and watching you walk away and never knowing what could have been, and not seeing that loving you is what I was trying to do. It's hard to deal with the pain of losing you everywhere I go, but I'm doing it. It's hard to force that smile when I see our old friends and I'm alone. Still harder getting up, getting dressed, living with this regret, but I know if I could do it over, I would trade, give away all the words that I saved in my heart that I left unspoken. What hurts the most is being so close and having so much to say, and watching you walk away and never knowing what could have been, and not seeing that loving you is what I was trying to do. What hurts the most was being so close and having so much to say, and watching you walk away and never knowing what could have been, and not seeing that loving you is what I was trying to do. Not seeing that loving you, that's what I was trying to do.
So, we got a call in from an anonymous person, and they were called insults such as a human L because they had big feet. They were called things like fin flapper. And thank you for sharing your story. We know that it can be hurt to be insulted. I have been called names before too. And I hope that the things you've heard on this show could help.
Well, that brings an end to today's episode of Empower Hour. And next time, think about what you say to someone before you say it, because sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can break my heart.
You've just been empowered by the hour.
Bye.
Empower Hour is a project of RiverStars Performing Arts, made possible by the Oregon Community Foundation's Community Grant. Rants are written and performed by Annie Hertler. Ladyline is written and hosted by Phoebe Hertler and Isadora Millay. Project Redworm is written, produced, and edited by Isadora Millay, Phoebe Hertler, and Elijah Ocean, starring Gina Angelique and Michael Giroux. Arts Alive is written by Elijah Ocean and hosted by Talia Atlas, Whitman Franklin, Toby Giroux, Annie Hertler, and Elijah Ocean. My Obnoxious Fandom is written by Michael Giroux and Maya Hauk and hosted by Toby Giroux, Whitman Franklin, and Talia Atlas. Our adult helpers are Nellie Barrera, Keith, Chris Hall, and Gina Angelique. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/IVRiverStars and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/RiverStarsPerformingArts. You've been listening to KXCJ LP 105.7 FM. Stay tuned to listen to Section D with Midge Note Saturdays from 12 to 3.
It is not death most people are afraid of. It is getting to the end of life only to realize that you never truly lived. There was a study done, a hospital study, on 100 elderly people facing death close to their last breath. They were asked to reflect about their life's biggest regret. Nearly all of them said they regretted not the things they did, but the things they didn't do, the risks they never took, the dreams they didn't pursue. I ask you, will your last words be, if only I hit, hey, you, wake up. Why do you exist? Life is not meant to simply work, wait for the weekend, and pay rent. No, I don't know much, but I know this. Every person on this earth has a gift. And I apologize to the black community, but I can no longer pretend. Martin Luther King, that man never had a dream. That dream had him. See, people don't choose dreams. Dreams choose them. So the question I'm getting to is, do you have the courage to grab the dream that picked you, that befits you and grips you? Or will you let it get away and slip through? You know, I learned a fact about airplanes the other day. Now, this was so surprising, see. I was talking to a pilot, and he told me that many of his passengers think planes are dangerous to fly in. But he said, actually, it is a lot more dangerous for a plane to stay on the ground. I said, what? Like, how does that sound? Well, he said because on the ground, the plane starts to rust, malfunction, and wear much faster than it ever would if it was in the air. As I walked away, I thought, yeah, makes total sense. Because planes were built to live in the skies, and every person was built to live out the dream they have inside. So it is perhaps the saddest loss to live a life on the ground without ever taking off. See, most of us are afraid of the thief that comes in the night to steal all of our things. But there is a thief in your mind who is after your dreams. His name is doubt. If you see him, call the cops and keep him away from the kids, because he is wanted for murder, for he has killed more dreams than failure ever did. He wears many disguises, and like a virus will leave you blinded, divided, and turn you into a kinda. See, kinda is lethal. You know what kinda is. It's a lot of kinda people. You kinda want a career change. You kinda want to get straight A's. You kinda want to get in shape. Simple math, no numbers to crunch. If you kinda want something, then you will kinda get the results you want. What is your dream? What ignites that spark? You can't kinda want that. You gotta want it with every part of your whole heart. Will you struggle? Yeah, you will struggle, no way around it. You will fall many times, but who's counting? Just remember, there's no such thing as a smooth mountain. If you wanna make it to the top, then there are sharp ridges that must be stepped over. There will be times you get stressed and things you get depressed over, but let me tell you something. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times, but he kept going. The television execs fired Oprah, said she wasn't fit for TV, but she kept going. Critics told Beyonce that she couldn't sing, she went through depression, but she kept going. Struggle and criticisms are prerequisites for greatness. That is the law of this universe, and no one escapes it. Because pain is life, but you can choose what type. Either the pain on the road to success, or the pain of being haunted with regret. You want my advice? Don't think twice. We have been given a gift that we call life, so don't blow it. You were not defined by your past. Instead, you are born anew in each moment, so own it now. Sometimes you gotta leap and grow your wings on the way down. You better get this shot off before the clock runs out, cause ain't no overtime in life, no do-over. And I know I sound like I'm preaching or speaking with force, but if you don't use your gift, then you sell not only yourself, but the whole world short. So what invention do you have buried in your mind? What idea, what cure, what skill do you have inside to bring out to this universe? Uni meaning one, verse meaning song. You have a part to play in this song. So grab that microphone and be brave. Sing your heart out on life's stage. You cannot go back and make a brand new beginning, but you can start now and make a brand new ending.